Before we get going, this is Midnight Chimes. I covered him back in How Not to Brony 10. He responded and it was very insightful and open-minded. He even humored one of my requests. This technically doesn't really go here because what you see here, class, is two adults acting like, well, adults. God be willing, when the season wraps up, I'm going to start a series called How to Brony. And if my bullshitting skills are firing on all cylinders, you might get to see Midnight Chimes over there. Dear Torrid Prime.
Talking trash about something I particularly like, then I tend to get very mad at them and imagine myself clocking them so hard they slide back at your feet and their teeth fall out.
I've actually had a brief word with you before my mods tossed you out of limbo. I don't even remember why, but I don't make my friends and peers bend to my will. Again, from what I recall from talking with you, you didn't nearly seem this confrontational in call. You used the term negative and trash talk in this video in a way that felt interchangeable. That's troubling, as if you're insisting the world should be sunshine and lollipops. It is not, and it should not be.
Being a fan of the Michael Bay Transformers movies and Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, this is something that tends to happen quite a lot for me.
I think you're equating the issue of taste with the issue of character. Your video is about KP. People didn't beat up KP for her body of work, but for how she treated people under her.
I will rant about whoever it is to myself whenever I'm alone, but online I choose to remain neutral in any argument regardless of my opinion.
And that's sage advice from a guy who talked a big game of knocking my teeth out less than a minute ago. But here's the rub. That's you. Just you.
Not to say I don't always let the angry disagreeing comments slip and voice my less than flattering opinions in the comments section or in one of my reaction videos, which by the way are all unscripted. But I have made a genuine effort to keep the counter-negativity down and out of sight.
And seeing that you've chosen to do that, I can applaud you for following your convictions. Again, your convictions. If I were to look around Torrid Prime's background, one might be inclined to think that you're painting yourself as universally correct. Again, troubling.
You will never see me start a video with absolute scorn unless it's all part of some act or rant about someone I disagree with. Again, unless it's all just part of an act.
Judging by the people you have on your screen without dropping any examples for myself or any of the rogues gallery here in the background, you're really hoping your audience can do the dirty work for you. Let's fast forward ahead a little.
Come out about how Dr. Wolf secretly beats his wife and forces her to keep quiet as some means of explaining why she never talks in his videos.
Okay, I have zero evidence of this. Full disclosure, I don't have anything in that ballpark. Are you saying if people did have that, they should shut up? That is very concerning.
Of course, this story isn't true, and I doubt it will ever be true. It's just an imaginary example I made up. Though that doesn't mean that someone will eventually come forward claiming that it is true.
And if I were able to give you legal advice, this would suspiciously sound like defamation. I cannot, and as bold as I might be, how you said any of that crazy bullshit without cracking a smile makes me worry about you.
Recently I watched a video by an analyst whose name I think was Vita, and in that particular video, on the high horse, Jerry Peet, I assume it was part of a series he did, he and a guest YouTuber commented on and savagely picked apart Pete's video, Glass of Water, Tricks Up My Sleeve. At least I think that's what it was called.
You do understand that this is a recording, and as such, and be ready for this is some of that negative criticism, there is zero reason, while writing the script, you couldn't have double-checked any of these things. I myself fumble a bit with my words when I'm recording, but through the wonders of editing, or God be willing shooting your recording over again, you can put out a more sound and polished product.
I'm not a fan of Pete's by any means. I've only seen 2, maybe 3 of his videos, and I can't stomach him. I hate his methodology for saying these things, often if not always basically angrily shouting his arguments to his audience, as though he has all the right in the world to be angry. I strongly dislike this method as it only succeeds in making me angry and always angry at him over things he says that I don't agree with. And things that, if investigated deeper, likely wouldn't be true. But unlike Vita, while I disagree with the method for projecting his opinions and of his opinions, I don't actually hate him specifically and feel that it's still his right to say them as he believes in what he's saying, and what he's saying is genuine criticism, not just relentless spouting of opinions.
Oh wow, where do I begin with this one? Number 1. Her. You cannot stomach her. Lily Pete is her. I'm not one of those fans in the comments who will play gotcha if you fucked up once or twice, but you did it a total of 4 times. Again, if you didn't do such a slapdash half-ass product here, whining about what triggers you, maybe you could have had a shred of dignity and integrity on someone else's feelings. cunt. Number 2, this only manages to make you angry. No, okay, wait for this. Who the fuck are you? The world, my little snowflake, does not revolve around you. I goddamn love this style because it's a wonderful contrast to everything else out there. Number 3, you're relentlessly spouting your opinion while bitching about someone else doing just that. Like, I understand you're attempting to seize the moral high ground by talking about their rights, but lacking zero empathy or understanding why any of these things were said, you're a complete apathetic asshole.
Here was a guy I didn't like rightfully getting torn apart, and yet a part of me wanted to step in and make them stop, to defend him, just as I wanted to do for KP, and anyone else getting torn apart by lesser knowns. And frankly, this also includes other lesser knowns of the fandom. And this is my point. Whatever happened to Love and Tolerate?
It's a 4chan meme, and I hate 4chan. If you personally told me I killed it, thank you. I'm sure Miss Peet would be thrilled on how you defended her. Till then, get off your high horse, faggot.
The community I don't like Lily Pete, or even Digibro or Tommy Oliver, I won't join in the hatred and would sooner step in and break up the bashing.
I'm sure Digi and Tom would be thrilled on who got top billing in that. Even Tommy and Digi. Wait, let me check. I might have known, so here's what I'm gonna do for you. Take your forced positivity opinion, ball it up nice and tight, and shove it up your ass. You are regretfully one of those people I'm having it out with, who sadly I didn't hate talking to. Another lightning sword case, if you will. But here we are. When you understand how other people work, maybe you can come back and begin to suggest how they can act. Till then, sit down and shut the fuck up. Dear Event Horizon, I am not going to play your audio because of all the background noise, but there's some misunderstanding. Free heads up before we get going, I see you've worked for KP and I'm going to include a link to your work. I want no one to give you any crap because I'm sure you've had enough of that already. You suggested that Seth name-pulled when hiring Exploding Pony Toast for EQD's music section. I can only speak from the part of the fandom I'm involved with, which is the analysis part, which the two people that are involved at EQD are, one, Bag of Vicodin and Silverquill. I can tell you firsthand, EQD has stated they do want people who aren't going to butt heads with the staff, which is why the last I heard, they liked Silverquill for the analysis part of the community. If you could get a big name to do work for you over a little name, I wouldn't say that had anything to do with Seth's article. He's trying to continually grow his site, which from what I've heard from various sources, it isn't necessarily doing all that well. You use the word corrupt and networking for getting a job. I don't know about you, but in the fandom, I work with people I want to, and if they suck, I walk away. That's not corruption. I'd like to think, if I was a huge 50k subscriber channel, I'd work with little guys. Case in point, I have a podcast where I've talked to a range of anywhere with people with hundreds of thousands of subs all the way down to 100 or less. Is EQD a little wide-eyed with big names? Well, even lobies in the analysis community understand having a big name is what drives the traffic. I'd love to see EQD give features to under 5,000 analysis channels, but at the same time, it would also drive their traffic down. Now that said, EQD doesn't make stars, it illuminates them. Equestria Daily didn't make big names. When I say Calpain to people, every time, despite the fact he used to be the head editor for Princess Molestia, the response is the same. Who's Calpain? Because if you're the best editor in Brony, which I would certainly put Calpain in the top 10, it's not exactly something that gets your name out there. He does his job because he enjoys it. As for your thoughts on the community, yes, Equestria Daily's feature is supposed to be the best of the best. It's why it's so coveted. It doesn't even mean the views it used to. But saying you got a feature is pure bragging rights. And for the rest of us, there's the Nightly Roundup, regretfully. You could start your own YouTube channel promoting Brony music like I did with Analysis Daily, but I'm gonna tell you this. It's a wonderful time and money sink. Still, everyone watching this should check out his work. Like and subscribe, and for God's sakes, behave on this gentleman's channel. Dear Lily, I don't even know where to begin. By the way, before we get to anything else, that glass of water on Wounded Pride, mwah, 10 out of 10. Loved it. If you could do movie reviews like this all the time, that would be pretty amazing. I'd even pay. Onward!
Genuinely made me angry. Quibble explains that he preferred the older Daring Do books that focused on puzzle solving, while the later books focused more on action set pieces. And the reason I was angry was because if they opened with that, this could have been a really interesting episode.
Now, I heard a rumor Lily is considering covering MLP on the Glass of Water series. When I talk about Lily being one of the last great analysts in the community, I can point in part to at least one golden moment in damn near every one of these videos. This is a well thought out point and perception no one else brought to the table, which regretfully gets buried because many fans will go, Lily Peet said mean and unpopular things. However...
But if you stop and think for a minute, if I'm taking the time to entertain your opinion and come up with a lot of reasons why it's wrong, and then spend hours creating the video that tells you why it's wrong, clearly that means I respected your opinion enough to consider it worth refuting in the first place. Whereas I simply could have told you to fuck off and booted up World of Warcraft for a few hours instead.
Now that's amazing. This point here is so good I almost feel like you could have put it at the start of the video. Oh wait, if you would have done that, there wouldn't have been a payoff. You know, because starting with your best point first means one of two things. It's all downhill from there, or the person doing the project is going to have to bust their ass to bring everything up to that standard. Strictly speaking, for MLP Season 6, the writing staff has been sorely lacking to have that skill set, where if we get a grain of brilliance at the end, we pretty much have to fall to our knees and be grateful. Not unlike Glass of Water. You know what? I could literally stop here and move on and feel like that'll do for now. But I actually have friends breathing down my neck to forge on. Oh, you better give it to Lily Peet on the next How Not to Brony. And I don't even mean my fans, I mean my friends who, oddly enough, don't want to be mentioned and continue to treat me like the Black Sheriff from Blazing Saddles. Oh, I do get an apple pie in the middle of the night now and again, but fuck off if anyone were to shake my hand in public during the day. It's not even regulated to bronies, it's something that happens in the commentary community as well. It's almost like I'm some kind of giant shitlord who causes pain and suffering everywhere he goes. Oh, I guess I should have put Dear FNGR in there somewhere. This is Lightning Bliss. She is little, tiny, miniature, diminutive. The point is, she is not tall. She went to Lily Peet's channel and posted, which is clearly a fool's errand. I want to explain this to you guys. If you're watching and you're a Lily Peet fan and think, hey, I'm nicer than FNGR, probably. But I can safely tell you you're not nicer than Lightning Bliss. You're going to be taller, maybe even more skilled at magic. Your OC probably has a better backstory because most of you don't have an alicorn. But not nicer.
With all due respect, ma'am, I'm not in the old Rift anymore due to too many problems the mods never addressed. I just did the artwork for them by request of Looney Turtle. A lot of us, such as myself, Keyframe, Toon, Golden Fox, and many others are a part of the Secret Rift due to issues in the previous one, so I'm just humbly correcting that. Second, I respect you no longer want your OC to be involved in any of my future projects, and I will happily respect that. That being said, since you keep saying we should speak up when we have a problem with something, here I go. I am rather surprised you decided to announce that you wanted no part of my animatic in a public comment section on my channel. The least you could have done is contact me via PM, and I would have been, yes, disappointed. But at least know you respect me enough to tell me one-on-one. I gave you that same respect in the past, didn't I? Well, up until now. You kinda caught me off guard since you had no problems being a part of my work in the past. If it's due to your fallout with former colleagues, I get that. But that wasn't my fault either, just FYI. I wish you luck on your channel, and good day.
Here is her conversation, as read by Astro Boy's girlfriend. And here is Lily's response.
Which Rift is doing largely insignificant, and in hindsight it was a mistake even bother trying to make the correction in the first place, and the correction has been removed from the next Glass of Water script. Since I was talking about very specific behavior, what its clique people fall under doesn't matter. You kinda caught me off guard, since you had no problems being a part of my work in the past. That was never the case. I have never allowed my character to be used in other people's works. I have told the 3 other animators who have used my puppets in their works not to do it, usually via the same communication. As for whether it should be in the comments or direct message, I think that is simple enough to instruct that it doesn't really matter how I do it. It's whether the public comment section or in private message. We can dance around the idea that direct message shows respect, but what it really shows respect is asking someone before you can use the character in something. Actually, that's not even respect. It's just courtesy. Neither of us can really claim respect on the other since we don't know each other. We don't know each other. We have never worked on anything. We have never interacted before this point right here. It has something to do with the fallout with the former colleagues. My removal from the analysis anarchy is about only the fallout there ever was. I think I can live with that.
Now, some of you will find this is a little standoffish, and truth is, if this was all I had to work with, I'd have to dig in my heels and try really hard to make a mountain out of a molehill. And let's be honest, I could. But then again, I got this sent to me from Lily's Tumblr.
You could at least show me the basic respect by asking me before using my characters. Or at least telling me I was kicked off the project when the decision was made, and not months after. So, fuck you. I think that's the right phrase. Fuck you.
Do you guys know what a knob is? It's the tip of the penis. Ever heard the term slob my knob? Not the whole penis, just the tip. As if the person Lily was talking about wasn't big enough to be a whole penis. Just the tip. Certainly not the shaft of the penis. The knob. Who calls a girl the tip of a penis? Now, I could stop right here. We could have a good old chuckle about, well, penis tips. But even after that, Lily Peet wasn't done.
It has nothing to do with the fallout of my former colleagues. My removal from the analysis anarchy is about the only fallout there ever was. I think I can live with that. Although, being told when the decision has been made rather than months down the line would have been nice. I'm so triggered. Or being told at all instead of having to assume. So, fuck you. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, that's the right phrase. Fuck you! I'm so triggered! I hate white ponies! Red and black ones make me feel depressed! I'm taking my glass of feminines and going home!
Now naturally, this didn't stay up for long on YouTube because Lily Peet is Lily Peet. Like, holy shit. I've never seen someone so skillfully, negatively around a bear trap, only to back up and cannonball ass first into it. Lily, I can clearly see your content and your product is still going really well. Hell, I'd even say you were boxing my ears really good. But regretfully, we're not even done, and here's this. Number 1, good luck trying to run off Looney. That guy has put up with Kodo, Shark Discusses, Sheldon, Corpulent Brony, Biter, you briefly, Pink Mist, Fallen Wish, Josh Scorcher, like a who's who of pain in the asses in the Brony fandom. I might hate Eric's guts, but you don't have the sand to make him unsubscribe you. Lily, I don't hate you, I've walked a mile in your shoes. I have a Calthread 8chan, I have an Encyclopedia Dramatica page. It's really nothing to get batshit crazy over, because I know you have the same things. If anyone else is watching this right now and is personally harassing Lily, could you knock that off? And I don't mean the commentaries, I mean the other bullcrap. Lily, I don't know if it's because of Tumblr or the fact that you use Dr. Wolf as your role-play surrogate father, which is why you trust that jackass, and partially explains why you're so fucked up. Oh yes, Lily Peet uses Dr. Wolf for real-life advice, unironically. Dr. Wolf, this is the same guy who's protecting I Love Kim Possible a lot, and is offering counseling advice to someone who really needs licensed help. At long last, sir, have you no common decency? Does your decadency know no bounds? You're a disgusting, filthy opportunist that poisons every facet of the fandom that you touch. But I do take one more issue with one more thing in regards to Lily, something one of my fans said that burned my fucking ass. It sure must have taken a lot of courage for Josh Scorcher to have just stopped talking to Lily Peet like that. Dear God, that makes me want to break my fist against the wall. Courage to stop talking to someone who's your friend. Lily Peet today hates the analysis community because of Josh Scorcher. Now don't get me wrong, she never liked us before. The people you should be pissed at, Lily, are the people who fucked you over. The people who cut you off without a backwards glance. Kinda like you do with most people. In fact, Josh Scorcher Lily Peeted Lily Peet. Now don't get me wrong, that's funny. That's poetic irony. That's the fingertip of God. Just the tip, Lily. But fuck anyone else who thinks that's courage. Recently, I was told I pulled a massive bitch move. And I totally did. For anyone who knows what I'm talking about, I would suggest you not follow in my footsteps. I'm not explaining it, it was a dumbass move, and I'm moving forward. In that vein, I empathize with you, Lily. My last week, richly of my own doing, resembled the nonsense you're going through. I can only assume. The Brony analysis community is not Gamergate. I am not Sargon of Akkad. Voice of Reason is not the Armored Skeptic. And tempting as it might be to suggest, Corpulent Brony is not the Amazing Atheist, no matter how bad you squint your eyes and tilt your head. You're an analyst, Lily, whether you like it or not. I'm really, really begging you to give the community a try. You need to realize 8chan is not the Brony community, and while those people did harass Pinky Pony, they didn't give a high fuck about Ass Molestia. They're a bunch of dumbasses who don't believe in anything other than video games. I know, because I've talked to them. I understand you wanted to cut me out of analysis, but you do know those 3 guys you're looking to talk about, the ones you're going to put over? I get along with all of them. I love this medium. It's why I put up with you. There are people out there who hate you because you're loud, weird, and different, and I like you because you're loud, weird, and different. Welcome to Brony, most of those are the norm here. If not, I'll genuinely miss your work. Hey, if I hated you, I wouldn't make these videos. I mean, seriously, how many videos have you seen me make on KP? 1, the Brony Notion. 2, hell, if the Brony Notion quit tomorrow and never came back, the only thing I'd feel bad about is he never tried to grow the analysis community. He's a dull, dry, uninteresting, untalented, clickbait amalgamation of saying nothing for 3 minutes or more. The longest hours of my life was making a video about him. And it's Lightning Sword time. LS asked me to take a swing at one of his so-called bullies, and you know what? You judge what's said here. You tell me if I was 100% unfair with Lightning Sword in the comments.
Who's this guy, Anthony?
This is fucking Erwin's the boss. Erwin, let me introduce you to the seedy underworld of the commentary community and the analysis community.
Okay.
So that's Midnight Anubis. He's a commentator and a shitlord. I love him to death.
Hello.
That's Tricky Fox. He's the most amazing German in the analysis community. That's Countess Rose. She's a changeling. That's Vita. He's the devil of the Brony community. That's Solid Flair. He's a Marine. Irish John's a Marine. Pastel Pros is Puerto Rican. Gordo is some kid dating one of
Hispanic panic.
Yep. Death Alchemist is fucking. You know what? There's too many faggots in the call. Fuck you people. Fuck you people in the ass.
Joining right when you started talking.
Good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Name 1 faggot, 4 more here.
Yeah. No so anyways,
like a hydra.
Yeah. So anyways, Erwin.
If you call it, they will come.
Lightning Sword's like, hey, maybe kinda sorta, would you like to smack the shit out of Erwin for me? And I was like, would I? And I looked at your content, I'm like, So what's the hubbub, bub? I don't know what's going on.
So he contacted you. Okay.
Yeah, he's in the call.
He's in the call.
Oh, that's hi. How you doing?
He got quiet real fucking quick after that.
We are
like, oh, that motherfucker, he's in the call. Oh, shit.
No,
I wish I could say that
I don't
this
really
was a
care.
pleasure, but it's really not.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I only watched about 5 minutes of your video, left it up for attention, and I was like, this seems fairly reasonable.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest with Lightning Sword here. It all started kind of with a kind of a bet, really. I had a friend who's also on FimFiction, and he just asked me, like, hey, I dare you to make a video about this guy. And I'm like, oh, it's Lightning Sword. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. What do you want me to say? And he's like, okay, you can go ahead and say this and this. Watch a few as a blog post and just tell me what you think. So I did exactly that. And, I saw a little bit of the drama, with the full free press bullshit and everything like that. So, I don't know. I decided, you know what? Why not? Let's just make a video about it and see how it'll go.
Okay. So if you don't know anything about FimFiction, you're shit out of luck on this one, right, guys?
Luckily, me and Pastel are here, so...
Yes.
The thing is, though, as far as what I've seen on FimFiction, I mean, all I do is fucking write. I don't really get into much of the drama. There's no drama. I mean, the fact that there's drama on FimFiction just baffles my fucking mind. I always thought it was just YouTube videos and analysis community and, fucking writers are quiet people. Why the fuck?
I was assuming it was a bunch of cinnamon rolls with their hands tied singing Kumbaya around the fucking goddamn campfire.
No, it's not even that. People literally,
the drama was them running out of mail.
No, the thing is, with FimFiction people, we just usually keep to ourselves, post your own shit, comment on other people's, hey, good story, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, the fact that people are actually going to FimFiction to begin drama, it's turning into the next DeviantArt. I'm about to cry and just kill myself.
It's just kind of becoming YouTube, in all honesty. Like, the old YouTube drama bullshit, it's already bad. And now it seems like every major site, fanfiction site, is turning into some kind of drama thing. I don't know. At least that's what I've noticed.
Well, to be fair, the bigger it gets, the more likely it's going to attract the leeches.
Yeah.
All right,
Here's the thing,
Erwin, this is my
fanfiction-
lovely girlfriend Kichi. She owns half of all UC.
Hi there.
What was I gonna say? Here's the thing, though. With it being fanfiction, not a lot of niggas in the fandom read anymore. I'm pretty sure they don't even read comments in the fucking YouTube section, let alone sit there and actually read through a story. So you're telling me these faggots are just fucking into fanfiction for the sake of fucking cursing out other people and talking shit?
Jesus.
What are we talking about?
Okay, so anyways, fucking Lightning Sword went up to me and said, "Go kick the crap out of Erwin," and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go look at his video." I was like,
I never said that.
Well, you're like, you're like, hey, I'm gonna kind of.
qualify for how not to Brony.
I'm an ass from time. I'm an ass from time to time. So yeah.
No,
can
I
understand
got
people
that
wanna
vibe.
Kick the crap out of me.
No, well, here's the whole thing. You basically did this, Lightning Sword. You're like, hey, I'm gonna kind of leave this laying around here. I know you're a faggot. But you could do your thing, or you could not do your thing. And I was like, well, no.
I asked for an opinion. Nothing more.
I did kind of keep saying, and I kept asking the room. I'm like, is there anything here, guys? Because I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's because I don't read.
You reading? Oh, by the way, Anthony, you know the Crazy Pony Man thing, right?
Oh, yeah. 1 second.
Apparently, Brixie.
Go ahead, keep going, man. You got it, fam.
No, it's apparently Brixie recorded footage of the anti-bullying panel at BronyCon, and apparently Crazy Pony Man was on it.
Really?
That's what they're saying. I'm telling them, give me the footage. I don't believe you.
Yeah, we need the fucking footage, fam. Like, that's the only way.
Crazy Pony Man.
I'm gonna die laughing if it turns out that he was on the fucking panel.
You know, I'm gonna laugh if they rouge the fuck out of you. I'm gonna legitimately die.
I don't believe him. Anyone seen any good porn lately?
Nope.
No.
Not recently. I mean, they're all just these CGI
There's that
animated craps. And most of the ones I've seen so far are just a bunch of 3D crap. Like, come on, man. Someone sketch out shit.
Damn it, Overwatch.
Doll makers.
Overwatch. I like Overwatch.
Anything interesting happened today?
Released my rant. I took a pot shot at...
I said interesting. Just kidding.
I took
I was on
Alright, there's some.
Euro's editing stream.
Ironically enough, some Mexican was doing the yard for me, and I was like, oh. He's like, you want the Lara? The what? Never mind. I don't feel like explaining it.
What was I gonna say though? Freaking I took a pot shot at Sketchy, at Knight Rider, at Brushstroke, at Geeky, and I think I'm good for the day.
Okay. Alright, you've done Celestia's work, Anon.
Sweetie Boom's getting a pot shot in the cartoons video, so.
Ooh, baby! What do you think about that, Erwin? People who make fun of French people, does that make you xenophobic?
No, not really. Like, I live near France. I'm Dutch. I live in the Netherlands, so they're kind of my neighboring country. But if I had to give my honest opinions about the French, they can be assholes from time to time. Like when
I say so much. I'm German. It's part of my culture to make fun of the French.
Where did you say you were from, dude?
He says he's from
the
Dutch.
Netherlands. I'm Dutch.
Ryan, we got a Dutchman.
Canadian.
Oh, we have a Dutch guy.
Oh, y'all brought in a new guy while I was gone.
Oh, goddamn.
Oh, God, it's Ryan. Hi.
Hey, Ryan.
Hello.
Howdy, Ryan.
I was asked to do it was implied that I may or may not do a hit video, and I was like, well, I'll talk to him first. That's what Ryan would do, maybe.
I mean, it depends on who it is.
I don't know, I was watching his videos, like, he seems like he could be reasonable. I'll go reason with him.
I'd rather reason
no,
with someone. Watch this episode.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I don't know, he doesn't seem like a giant faggot.
Oh yeah, Anthony, you missed it when I was explaining it, but apparently Brixie has footage of Crazy Pony Man on the panel.
Oh, baby.
So I'm trying to get that from him.
I'll take a screenshot. That's all I need. So, Kichi, did you know that Crazy Pony Man was on a BronyCon panel?
Vito literally just finished telling me.
Well, now you do know.
Thanks for keeping me in the loop.
Yep.
What are you gonna do with that, though?
I'm gonna update that in a video and make fun of BronyCon. That's a thing.
If it's the one with Standing Leaf on it, oh my fucking god.
Oh, that would be rich.
Oh, baby. God is not that kind. He's pretty kind, but he's not that cool. I'm daring you, God.
He's been pretty cool with you lately, Anthony.
Oh, he has. Like, don't get me wrong, me and God are boys, but he's not that cool. I'm daring him to prove me wrong.
That's not only going to end well.
He just has his finger next to the domino stack that is your life.
Yeah.
Hey, Anthony.
Shoot, dude.
You know that DWK guy?
Yeah.
It's too bad you don't put podcasts on Analysis Daily, because he actually did like ones on Sunset Shimmer and Starlight Glimmer.
But he does other content.
Yes, I've tried to get him. I was like, hey, you should come on for a podcast or join the Rift or blah, blah, blah. And then he didn't say anything back. I'm like, okay, no, ignore me. I'm a faggot. I'll just be over here by myself crying in the corner. I have more subs than you. How dare you, sir?
He sounds a lot like Saber Spark. Have you noticed that?
Well, minus the autism.
I don't consider Saber Spark that autistic.
He's very obnoxious as shit. I could take him in doses.
Kind of sounds like applesauce to me, at least when he's singing.
You know, that's fucking goddamn, what's his name's fucking, Final Draft's favorite comedian in Fandom.
Who?
He's like, you should get Saber Spark. And I was like, yeah, maybe I should.
I feel dirty.
The two suggestions he said, get Saber Spark and get fucking, who's that one that Horse News really hates? The singer?
Black Griffin?
Yeah, that's him. He's like, you should get Griffin. And I was like, I don't really do musicians, but I'll give it a shot. And no, Black Griffin is very unobtainable.
Why would you want to obtain him?
I don't know. He's a hot commodity right now, apparently.
Because voice actress for Apple Bloom.
That's a
Wasn't
whole.
there like a shit ton of controversy about that?
Yeah. They're selling. It's either was it like $100 for 30 minutes for a call. And that's each. So it's $200 for both of them for a half hour.
Oh yeah, I remember Cider mentioning that he was gonna consider doing that for the pub crawl a long time ago.
Bullshit.
Pretty funny.
Bullshit. Jesus.
He didn't, of course, but it'd be hilarious if he had.
No.
I would have watched it. That's a funny thing.
Oh yeah, no duh. If I were the Kraber family, I wouldn't let my daughter on with some drunken Australian. I mean, I know Cider's safe, but, you know, if I didn't... No offense, Cider, I love you up and down.
Okay, apparently he's uploading the video to Dropbox. I said I only needed a screenshot. He's like, oh no, you're in the video.
Is he giving you permission to use it or whatnot?
Well, I don't give a shit either way.
Yeah, no, I got you. Alright, fine.
I doubt he would give me permission.
Waitos. All the way from Waitos. From Hop Podcast. That is one of my favorite face stories when he called up when fucking Crazy Pony Man was on a radio podcast and he outed him for all the fucked up things he ever did.
God damn it.
And Crazy Pony Man came back in the PMC and threatened to kill Faith. I would have gave anything. I wish I was there. It must have been magical. Like, it wasn't even funny. Like, he was literally threatening bodily harm on fucking Faith. I will fucking murder you.
That's how you know you did your job.
Oh yeah, no shit. And I was like, Faith, you've done good.
I'm proud.
Well, I say, good show.
Good show. Jesus Christ. Aren't you glad you didn't run into Crazy Pony Man, Kichi?
I am. I've never encountered Crazy Pony Man, but from the stories, I feel like that's a good thing.
In my head, I'm just imagining, like, you know, fucking, like, it's like, what's that dance thing? Brony Palooza? Like they have on Saturday night?
Yeah, Brony Palooza.
Brony Palooza, it's going kind of slow, you're about to fucking leave, all some black maniac in fucking plaid clothes with fucking just kicks up at the door. Who's ready to get crazy? Oh shit, no. I'm high on cocaine!
He's quickly becoming the new Crazy Pony Man with his tweets.
You, other black person on the floor, come here!
I can see Kichi just crying.
Don't worry, I brought Black up.
Black up? Oh, that's fucking horrifying. Jesus Christ. Fuck our podcast.
Why does Fluttershy crying give me such a throbbing erection?
Jesus. Rat face killer himself, Brixie.
He got blocked for that one, by the way.
He should have. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Should get Fandom banned on fucking Twitter for that. Jesus
Christ. That used to be a thing, Fandom ban.
I think there is. I was told that there is Phantom bans on Twitter. It's to keep you from realizing that you've been banned so you don't sneak back in with another account.
Oh, Phantom, not
I thought
Phantom.
the term was shadow banned.
Yep.
Yeah, it was kind of annoying. I was shadow banned on Reddit for about half a year for no good reason.
I've noticed that. You just have to switch accounts, though. Could have been... Well, if it's the Brony analysis thing, you know Biter runs that.
The what?
Biter runs the Brony analysis Reddit. Used to be...
Reddit? Oh, God.
Yeah, I know.
Need to look this up now.
I thought he's barely in the fandom anymore. Why would he still run the subreddit?
Because Digi quit and he was the last asshole in line to get it.
I thought Silverquill was running the subreddit.
I thought Voice was for some reason.
No, you wish.